can't take words back. You can apologize for them, and you can reiterate that you didn't know anything at the time, which, hey, I think in the future maybe I would have to do that for some. Like, if you're a decent person that is open to criticism or open to being told you maybe didn't conduct yourself as well as you could have, like, you take that stuff on board. And there's also certain communities that get their jollies out of coming at somebody with as much force as they can because the establishment supports their agenda. And there are such things as so many useful idiots in some of these movements that flaunt themselves on TikTok, for example. I hate TikTok. I mean, it's kind of like the car crash near the side of the road where you have to slow down and look, even though you don't really want to see. You just kind of have to look because it's mortifying, and oh my God, this is kind of somebody's life. Like, this is real life. Somebody actually lived that moment. And also cringe. So TikTok aside, because that's the latest craze at the moment, everyone with half a brain is watching these people make utter fools of themselves, ready for the CIA or, even Google cases just to be present there for forever in some of these crazy moments when maybe they should have just taken their meds and gone to bed. Besides all that, I've got to say it, and I don't care what you think. Stop sexualizing children. You know who I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking about. In my state, the age of consent is 16. The reason we have ages of consent is because the theory behind it is that someone younger than that specific age does not have the emotional tools or the skill or experience to make informed decisions and be prepared for the ramifications or the consequences of certain actions regarding sexual activity. That law is there for a reason, and that comes from mental assessments of people and psychologically, like, are they ready or not? It has been a point of contention regarding, say, if you had two teenagers in a relationship and one of them is a little bit younger and one ages out and turns 18, that suddenly makes the older person susceptible for like a sexual assault kind of indecent dealings with a minor kind of charge. And really it's complicated because parents were all right with them doing that before, but now it's illegal. So sometimes there are exceptions where it can be not so much argued, but explained that there were intricacies and complications, and it wasn't just flat as it is said in law and in the court of what happened. I'm not talking about that. I am talking about what looks to be a systematic dismantling of that section of culture, whereby which people know that people of a certain age, whether that's by law or just common sense, that certain beings cannot consent to what you're trying to do with them. And this is what concerns me, because I don't believe it is your job as a woke teacher to tell kids about sexuality, unless it's nearing puberty and it's in the curriculum and you need to talk to them about safe sex and tampons and all that stuff. But any younger than that, for you to be standing up there and preaching about sexuality to someone that barely knows they have a penis, that barely knows they have a vagina, that to me is sick. When we were growing up, we didn't know our teachers were married, or we assumed they were. We didn't care if they were gay. We didn't care about their outside school activities. That was none of our business because we were there to learn history and maths and English. We didn't care about what they did in their own time, and we certainly did not need to be preached to about how their lifestyle was kind of persecuted, and all the little ones need to grow up and embrace whatever is going on behind closed doors at their teacher's house. And it's not lost on me that some of these teachers, well, a lot of the ones that are on TikTok and YouTube and things like that, trying to explain what great things they're doing in the world by exposing children to this stuff, they are usually, let's just say, odd. They like to refer to themselves as different things and put a label on themselves, all the while saying, how dare you label me, but here's my label and here's the pro version of that label so that you know exactly what to label me as. They say things to these children that these children should not know. And I can't help but think, and as I said, it's not lost on me, that they're trialing this stuff their messed up thought processes, bouncing ideas on kids, because kids don't really fight back, and kids are agreeable, and kids want to make the adult in the room happy. So you're testing out all your weird stuff on people that can't call you out on your bullshit. And I don't like that. So that's number one. The second part of what I don't enjoy about wokey teachers trying to put this on children is that there's got to be some kind of agenda. You guys are useful idiots. Because I believe that what the agenda is, and I've got some theories on who wants it this way and who's pushing this and where it comes from, but the matter I'm just going to discuss right now is that I can't help but feel there is a deliberate move to making children more aware of their bodies and sexuality in existence and what that means, so that you can lower the age of consent. Because your theory would be, well, we taught them this at a very young age and they know all about it, so technically they can make that decision. Let's erase the law so we can sleep with children. And I don't care how that sounds, and I don't care what you think. That's what it's really looking like. So back off, because you're making people angry. And that's not a very good thing. You're a very small minority, and you dominate TV, you dominate the internet, you're dominating legislation passing because people want you to be focused on all this kind of shit rather than the big news and the big international stuff that we should all be looking at and approaching with unity. They want everyone fighting amongst themselves, and they want kids to be susceptible to getting groomed. I don't like it. Stop it. And if you don't want these thoughts being attributed to you, change how you act. There is no reason for a little kid under the age of 13 to know about sexual acts and having children's books describing things of that nature. That is something in you that you need to fix. If you want to expose someone to that, I don't know, maybe you like the innocence of somebody and you want to be in control. Go sort yourself out. But holy hell, you better not bring that shit around my kid.